In a flashback, a scarlet calamity star appeared in the sky. The children of the royal family must not be born in that time, otherwise she must be killed. With this, the king sentenced the fourth princess to death. Duke Riselia took pity on the child and thus, one of his sons, Edward, secretly brought the child home. They claimed that they had two daughters at the same time. As the child grows, she becomes the personal maid to the biological daughter to conceal her identity. Regina admits to Leonis that her real name is Regina Ray Oltrees and only her platoon mates know the matter. She knows that something happens to her sister upon seeing her spirit medium, the carbuncle, a capability that only belongs to the royal family. She reveals that the ship was controlled by the carbuncle. Leonis then informed Regina that the ship was now under the control of demi-humans. They let the carbuncle lead the way to the princess's whereabouts. At the hall, one of the hostage takers warns them not to use the holy sword, otherwise there will be an explosion. Ilfine tells Rosalia that she had analyzed the bomb through her holy sword, which is pre-deployed before the party begins. She needs a little time to detonate the bomb and requests Rosalia's assistance. Rosalia then picks up the fruit fork to poke her finger to bleed. The bomb will be activated by a holy sword, but not with her blood. Leonis and Regina went to the bridge only to find out that the ship course was locked and could not be steered. The princess is also nowhere to be found. Leonis asks her to connect to the princess through the carbuncle, but Regina hesitates. Doing so will reveal her existence. Leonis reminded her that what is more important is to save her sister. She noticed how Leonis talked as somewhat of an adult, but she was convinced and tried to talk to the princess. She was able to connect with the princess through her carbuncle. The princess asks her identity, but she only tells her that she is a spirit medium passing by. The princess informed her whereabouts and that the ship was locked in going to Void Reef, thus they needed to steer it. She was told to connect the carbuncle to the lower deck, but Regina hesitated for she wanted to save her sister first. Leonis told her to go to the lower deck for only she could gain back control of the ship. He promised her that he would save her sister. Leonis used his magic to create a passage and went to save the princess. At the banquet hall, Rosalia and Ilfine were secretly planning their action when one of them requested that the children be released. The wolf-like demi-human grabbed and shouted at her when the sound of broken glass echoed. It turns out that Sakya is busy feasting on the food. The female demi-human warns him against Sakya, who is from the Auron clan, who makes rampage and killing voids. As the fox demi-human is distracted from Sakya and the other lady, Rosalia and Ilfine detonate the bomb by destroying the wand. Sakya uses her sword to attack while Fenris uses frost wolves in taking down the hostage takers. Rosalia tries to contact Leonis, but to no avail. Suddenly, they notice that they are in a void reef and they are surrounded. Two voids try to break the glass, was able to make through but got taken down by Sakya and the frost wolves. Soon more voids appeared, thus they usher the people into the interior of the ship. Meanwhile, Rosalia hears Leo's voice through the keychain. He asks her of their situation and informs her that Regina is running towards the lowermost deck to gain control of the ship. She asks her to protect Regina and he will make arrangements to handle the voids in the banquet hall. On the other hand, the princess is ushered towards to a jet by the demi-human. Regina is cornered by the voids when Rosalia suddenly arrived and saved her. In the banquet hall, the fight with the voids continues. Suddenly, a crack out of the space surfaced. From there, a brain eater void appears. Ilfine told them to focus on the brain eater and she will handle the merman voids. But Sakya insists that they head inside to protect the civilian and she will handle the rest. When everyone leaves, Sakya summoned his demon sword Yamakitari. She told the voids that it will be her parting gift. Meanwhile, Regina continues to proceed to the lower deck with assistance of Rosalia. She then enters the passcode said by the princess, which is Scarlet Calamity. Thus, she knows that her sister knows something about her existence. She then connects the carbuncle to steer the ship 180 degrees to starboard. The demi-human tiger was left behind, but the jet was unable to take off due to ship changing direction. Leonis then appears intending to punish the demi-human after terrorizing his kingdom. On the other hand, people in the banquet were cornered with voids, but suddenly the voids are cut down, who turns out the work of Leonis' subordinates. Sakya panting after finishing the brain eater. Back to Leonis, he confronts the demi-human. She asks him of his identity, where he reveals that he is the demon lord. She tries to attack Leonis, but he dispels the magic. The demi-human was shocked, but Leonis informed her that the magic was created by himself, thus it won't work. He asks her of their motive, which she answered to corrupt holy swordmen and forge a demon sword to offer to the goddess. He asks the name of their goddess, but before she could utter the name, a demon sword emerges out of her body, the evil thrashing blade, Zalgstar Mazikis. He concludes that the sword is consumed by nothingness and became a void. Merman Voids also appears in the scene. He uses his magic against the void, but it teleported and almost crushed him. The merman tries to attack the princess, thus, Leonis uses his magic, which resulted to almost being cornered by the void. Regina, who is now in control of the ship, uses her power to manipulate the weapons and fires the void. All the merman was taken down. She then launches the missiles hidden in the pool. Suddenly, Rosalia flies out of one of the missiles. It turns out Regina's idea to fly out with the missile. Leonis asks Rosalia's assistance while he chants another spell. He uses his sword Dainsleeve to activate his technique Ragna Lost. The sword created a blinding light that ends the void. In the next scene, the princess acknowledges the bravery of the swordman. He was looking for Leo, but he is in the dorm as well as Regina. Leo is suffering from body ache from using his sword. Suddenly, Regina enters his room without even knocking. She offers him baked apple pie. He asks her if she does not want to see her sister. Regina decided not to see her in person, but still glad to talk to her. He kissed Leo and teased him, but gratefully thanked him, but he is not to tell the kiss to Rosalia.
If you've enjoyed this so far, drop down below and show us some love by liking, subscribe and sharing. Next chapter will come out soon enough if not already. But for the meantime, check out our other videos on the screen. I highly recommend The Daily Life of the Immortal King. The link is in the comments section below. Thank you for watching until the end. Subscribe for more videos like this.